Joining me now on set is Eric Trump, Executive Vice President at the Trump Organization and, of course, son of former President Donald Trump. Eric, it is so good to have you here. I want to start off by saying we are so sorry for what happened to your father, and want to ask how he is doing.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well. In fact, he just winked at us from the stage. He's down there a minute ago, right as we started this interview. But he's doing well. He's excited. I'm excited. I speak right before him. And we're going to have an amazing night. And honestly, the love at this conference has been amazing. I've done 3 of these at this point, and you've done a bunch of them as well. You've seen it. But and off air, I was just telling you, the kindness from the media toward me, right? Oftentimes I go into hostile territory where people like to take shots, and the kindness has been off the charts. And it's nice to see. Honestly, it's refreshing. And maybe it took a bullet whizzing by somebody's ear and, you know, almost killing them to actually bring the whole country back together. After 9/11, we had one of those moments where every single house had a flag on it, an American flag, and people were patriotic again. And, you know, sometimes in the worst, darkest days, that's kind of when countries come together. And I'm certainly feeling that right now. And just the tone of this entire convention has been beautiful. The love in a room, the support of the president, you know, really just the love of everything USA, red, white, blue, our Constitution, our religion, has been beautiful to see, and it's really nice.
Well, there's no doubt everything changed this weekend. I do want to ask you a little bit about what we're learning as it relates to the Secret Service and as it relates, frankly, to this new development that the Secret Service apparently made your father's campaign aware that there had been increased risks. This happened about 2 weeks ago. Now, we are told that U.S. authorities knew that there was an Iranian plot to assassinate your father. I am told that your father's campaign was told, quote unquote, in passing about it, wasn't given a whole lot of details, wasn't told that the threat was coming from Iran. Can you give me some specifics? What exactly did the campaign know, and was your father briefed on this threat against him?
Forget about the threat for a second. Iran has never liked my father. My father bankrupted the country. He was appalled that Obama gave $150 billion to Iran. He didn't like it. He went in there, and one of his first days in office, he says, anybody that works with Iran, anybody that buys Iranian oil, America will not do business with them. Then he took out Soleimani. He took out al-Baghdadi. Iran clearly isn't a fan of my father. But what happened this weekend, what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania is unacceptable. And it hurts. It honestly hurts me to say this. The agents on the stage are the greatest people in the world, and I will protect them till the dawn of time. But allowing a madman on a roof 130 yards away from a former president and very likely to be a future president is unacceptable. And then you hear these calls where the Secret Service director comes out and says, the roof has too much slope on it. And, you know, it was supposed to be local PD that's supposed to be covering that roof, even though local PD clearly had instructions that they were just doing traffic. And then you have Biden come out and said, yes, I spoke to him, meaning talking about the Secret Service director, not understanding that the Secret Service director isn't a him, it's a her. And when you look at just the incompetence across the board, I mean, my father could have lost his life that day. My father had a bullet go through his ear, and this is what we're dealing with. And I mean, there should be outrage. If this was on the opposite side of the ticket, had, God forbid, somebody done the same thing to Obama or to Clinton or to anybody else, they'd be calling for the resignation not only of the Secret Service director, they'd be calling for the president of the United States to stand down. And it better happen. There better be accountability for this, because my father almost died because of this nonsense.
People are calling for the resignation of the Secret Service director. Are you saying you think the Secret Service director should resign?
There's no question about it. There's no question about it. How can this possibly happen? Think about just what that would do, Kristen, on the world stage. If our leader on, you guys were covering it, and Fox was covering it, and CNN everybody was covering it, got assassinated, took a rifle round to the head on live TV while the entire nation, we'd look like a third world country. This can't happen in the United States. And somebody's got to be held accountable. You can't just sweep that kind of stuff under the rug.
And I just want to be very clear. What happened this weekend right now, authorities do not have any indication that there's a connection between this potential Iranian plot that they were tracking. But was your father briefed on the fact that there was an increased threat, that Secret Service, that U.S. officials were tracking an Iranian plot to assassinate him?
What I'll say is we've known as a family about Iranian threat for a very long time. You'll remember back in the day, the government of Iran was releasing those drone videos. You remember that had my father's head and, you know, a little kind of simulation of him driving around. And so, I mean, this is nothing new with Iran. Iran has never been happy with Donald Trump. Iran, you know, was put out of business by Donald Trump. You know, I mean, their country almost folded because of Donald Trump. He wouldn't give them money. He was totally against $150 billion. He was totally against
This
prisoner swap and this trade, which gave them another $6 billion. He was critical of them
those
the
funds
entire
were
time.
frozen. Just to be clear, those funds were frozen. But just to be clear, has your father lost confidence in the Secret Service? Does he believe the Secret Service director should resign?
My father loves the people who are around him.
Does he think the director should resign?
I'll listen. I'll let him speak to that in time. And I applaud him for not really getting into the fray in this conversation. He loves the men and women who are on that stage. He loves the men and women who travel with him every single day. The female on that stage was with me for 3 years, and I'm telling you, she's the greatest person you'll ever meet. And it pains me when I see criticism, and there has been criticism. And I will defend them, and I will defend her till the end of time. But the fact that the perimeter, not the body people, not the people that are supposed to keep somebody from jumping on top of him, who travel with him, who got there 10 minutes before the event with him, not those people. The fact that there was a breakdown in the perimeter of security, and somebody launched rounds, and there's a man that is dead, and there's 2 others that are hurt, and there's a bullet that went through a former president's ear and almost killed him on live TV, the fact that that happened, there better be accountability for it. And when you hear a Secret Service director, I'm so sorry, the roof had like a 3-degree pitch to it, right? The roof was too steep. We couldn't get our snipers on it. Stop the nonsense. Stop the games. We need real accountability. And somebody, if this was private industry, somebody would have been walked out the door that afternoon, but because it's government, they always get a free pass.
Let me ask you about the big moment tonight, the speech tonight. Senator J.D. Vance will be addressing not just this audience, but the world. Yeah. It comes, obviously, after your father made this decision. He was one of your father's fiercest critics at some time. I know this has been widely discussed, but just to remind folks, he said at one point, Trump is cultural heroin. He makes some feel better for a bit, but he cannot fix what ails them. And one day they'll realize it. He's walked those comments back. But you know, loyalty is number one for your father. Does he trust that Senator J.D. Vance will be loyal to him till, however, if he were to be reelected?
Kristen, Kamala Harris called Joe Biden a racist dozens and dozens of times.
But loyalty for your father is
Kristen,
top of
Kamala Harris went out
and
said that Joe Biden's a disgrace for his super predator comment, for his busing comments. Here's the reality. Here's what the reason I'm giving you this analogy is. Politics is wild.
Yeah.
And politics is rough. And you're running against people, you get really emotional. They're attacking you, you attack them, and it gets worse and worse. You get down a slippery slope. I'm not saying it's nice, but it's a reality of politics, right? The reality is over the last 6, 7, 8 years, J.D. Vance has become my father's top ally. The chemistry between them is incredible. The way they think is amazing. He wouldn't pick him if that wasn't the case. And he's an amazing guy. I think so much of my father's life, meaning being successful in private industry, rising the ranks of politics extremely quickly, mirrors J.D. Vance, right? I mean, and when you see them together, when you see the chemistry between them, it's incredibly strong. And this could be an amazing ticket. By the way, there's no one stronger in the Rust Belt than J.D. Vance. I think he's going to spend a tremendous amount of time there. But he's an amazing person. That chemistry is top-notch, and they've been strong allies for a very long time.
Let's talk about your father. He said he's overhauled his speech in the wake of the horrific events this past weekend. Obviously, your father is a self-described counterpuncher. This is part of his brand. What do you say to people who are skeptical about his ability to deliver a message of unity in this moment?
Well, listen, I think when you almost have your head taken off, it puts perspective in the world, right? I mean, he walked out here very humbled. You probably saw his reaction. Everybody was in tears in the entire auditorium, right? 48 hours earlier, he could have been dead, and then minutes before he walked out, his son puts him over the line. I was obviously the delegate that made him the Republican nominee to president of the United States. And listen, I think there's a humility there. Your life flashes before your eyes. You realize that it could have gone very, very different, that the history could have been rewritten in a very negative way. And so I think that does form some level of humility. At the same time, my father's a great counterpuncher. And, you can't take the fighter always out of the fighter. I've seen the speech, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And all the speeches have been beautiful. And this whole event has been incredible. But right now, this country needs a fighter. Nothing's working well, right? This country's got a lot of systematic problems. Our border, our economy, fentanyl. I mean, wars all over the world. Nothing's going right, and no one feels like the current government is actually fighting for this nation. And we need a fighter, and we need a puncher. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country.
And I know you have to go, and I'm going to let you go. Last question. I'm not going to relitigate all of the things your father has said, but as you know, he has used rhetoric that has at times been perceived as violent, very tough. Do you think he regrets some of his rhetoric? Do you think he feels he contributed to the climate, the rhetoric that exists right now?
Kristen, I don't know what that means. I mean, 4 days ago, right, the day before Obviously, my father almost got assassinated. Joe Biden puts out a tweet. We need to put a bullseye. We need to put the crosshairs.
He said it was a mistake. He did say it was a mistake.
Fair
he
enough.
said that was a mistake.
Listen, rhetoric gets used in politics, right? And is every word that anybody's ever said over thousands and thousands of speeches over a 10-year period of time perfect? Probably not. I'm sure I've screwed up too, right? You've screwed up. I'm sure every single person who wears this little thing, 24 hours a day has probably messed up, and including our colleague sitting right there, right? I'm sure he's messed up too.
Chuck Todd, who we're going to bring in.
Yeah, you'll bring him. Chuck, you've never messed up, have you, my friend? Never. Still perfect. You're still perfect. But listen, he's in a great spot. His speech is beautiful. We're so proud of him as a family. I'm so proud of him. And I just want him to fix America. We love this country dearly. And this country can be so much better than it is right now. And he's the one to do it.
So little headline there. The speech is done.
Speech is done.
All right. Eric Trump, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. Thank you for the conversation.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.